why giving 100% might not always be the best strategy, and how the perception of strength can sometimes be our biggest weakness. Hold on tight because the real mindbender is coming up. Stick around till the very end for a plot twist that'll flip everything you thought you knew. Can't wait? Dive into the comment section. Don't miss out on the juicy stuff. Your burning questions are about to meet their match. See you in the comments where we'll unravel this mystery together. Picture this. You're at work, crushing it day after day. You're the go-to person, the one who always says yes, the superhero without the cape. Sounds great, right? Well, not so fast. This is where our story takes an unexpected turn. You see, when you consistently perform at your peak, something interesting happens. People start to believe you're invincible. Your boss, your colleagues, even your friends and family begin to think, wow, they can handle anything. And before you know it, you're trapped in a cycle of ever-increasing expectations. Let's break it down with a little analogy. Imagine you're a rubber band. Every time you stretch to your limit, people assume that's your new resting state. They think, if they can stretch that far, surely they can go a little further next time. But here's the kicker. Rubber bands don't work that way, and neither do humans. Now, don't get me wrong. Pushing yourself and striving for excellence is admirable. But there's a fine line between growth and overextension. When you're constantly operating at 100%, you're not leaving any room for recovery, creativity, or, dare I say it, actual human existence. This always-on mentality can lead to some serious consequences. Let's talk about the elephant in the room burnout. It's not just a buzzword, it's a real psychological state that can leave you feeling emotionally exhausted, cynical, and less effective at your job. And trust me, it's not a club you want to join. But wait, there's more. And no, this isn't a late-night infomercial. Constantly pushing yourself to meet others' inflated expectations can also lead to anxiety and depression. You might find yourself lying awake at night, wondering how you'll meet tomorrow's challenges. Or worse, you might start to believe that if you can't meet these superhuman standards, you're somehow failing. Always keep something back of your mind. I have learned it the hard way. If you are tired because you are always giving 100%, what do you do when you have an emergency situation? We all had this feeling, no one understands me. Sorry to tell you this. No one understands you because you are always showing everyone that you are strong. Let's pause for a moment and consider a radical idea. What if being strong isn't about always being at 100%? What if true strength lies in knowing your limits, communicating them effectively, and valuing your well-being? Here's where things get interesting. By always giving 100%, you're actually doing yourself and others a disservice. You're setting an unsustainable precedent and creating unrealistic expectations. It's like running a marathon at sprint speed. Impressive for a moment, but ultimately, you'll crash and burn. So what's the solution? How do we break free from this cycle of overextension and unrealistic expectations? Well, grab a snack and settle in, because I've got some game-changing strategies for you. First up, the art of strategic underperformance. No, I'm not suggesting you start slacking off, but consider this. By occasionally operating at 80% instead of 100%, you're creating a buffer. You're showing that you're human, that you have limits, and that's okay. Plus, you're giving yourself room to truly shine when it matters most. Next on the list, clear communication. This one's a game changer, folks. Learn to articulate your capacity, your limits, and your needs. It's not weakness, it's professional maturity. When your boss asks if you can take on another project, it's okay to say, I'd love to help, but here's what's currently on my plate. Which of these priorities should I adjust to accommodate this new task? Let's talk about the power of no. It's a small word with a big impact. Saying no doesn't make you less capable or less valuable. In fact, it can make you more respected. It shows that you understand your worth and that you're not afraid to protect your time and energy. Now, here's a fun one. Embrace your humanity. Made a mistake? Own it. Feeling overwhelmed? Express it. By showing your vulnerabilities, you're giving others permission to do the same. You're creating a more authentic, healthier work environment for everyone. Remember, your worth isn't determined by your output. You're not a machine. You're a complex, multifaceted human being with needs, emotions, and limits. Recognizing and honoring that is true strength. Let's address the perfectionists in the room. I see you, and I get it. But here's the truth bomb. Perfection is a myth. It's an illusion that keeps you trapped in a cycle of never feeling good enough. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for excellence within reasonable boundaries. Now, for those of you thinking, but if I don't give 100% all the time, I'll fall behind. I hear you, but consider this. Sustainability trumps short-term intensity every time. By managing your energy and setting realistic expectations, you're setting yourself up for long-term success and fulfillment. Here's a mind-bending concept. Sometimes doing less can actually lead to achieving more. When you're not constantly operating at your limit, you have space for creativity, innovation, and strategic thinking. You're able to see the bigger picture instead of just frantically treading water. Let's talk about the importance of recovery. Just like athletes need rest days to perform at their best, your mind and body need downtime to recharge. Make rest a non-negotiable part of your routine. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity for peak performance. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but my workplace culture doesn't support this. And that's a valid concern. Changing workplace culture isn't easy, but it starts with individuals like you setting healthy boundaries and demonstrating a more sustainable approach to work. Here's a radical thought. What if we redefined strength? Instead of equating it with constant output, what if we saw strength in resilience, in knowing when to push and when to rest, in the ability to maintain balance, in a world that often demands imbalance? As we wrap up, I want you to remember this. You are more than your productivity. Your worth isn't measured in tasks completed or hours worked. You're a human being with intrinsic value, regardless of what you achieve or produce. So the next time someone says, "I've thought you were stronger," remember, true strength isn't about meeting others' inflated expectations. It's about knowing yourself, honoring your limits, and creating a sustainable path to success and fulfillment. Before we sign off, here's a challenge for you. This week, try operating at 80% in one area of your life. Notice how it feels, how others respond, and most importantly, how it impacts your overall well-being and performance in the long run. Remember, you're not a superhero, and that's okay. You're something even better. A human being with the power to define your own strength and success. Until next time, take care of yourself, set those boundaries, and remember, the strongest thing you can do is honor your own limits.